This is the primer on the documentary video Indie Game, the movie. This is a 2012 documentary directed by Lisanne Pajot and James Swirsky. This documentary follows the journeys of independent game developers as they create video games and release them to the world. The objective of this film was to look at 3 different video games, Super Meat Boys, Fez, and Braid, and look at what it takes to make and release a video game without the help of thousands of workers and with basically no money at all. It takes a look inside the life of 4 different independent video game makers and their long journeys to get their games released. First is Jonathan Blow, who is an independent video game developer and is best known for his creation of the video game Braid, which was released in 2008. John started working on Braid in 2004, and when it finally was released, it got great reviews. Xbox World 360 magazine said, quote, "Braid is a risky experiment climaxing in glorious success. Ask yourself when last you felt a sense of reward and achievement playing a game. Not achievement with a capital A and 10 Microsoft points, but an actual sense of pride. And when did a game really make you look at the world differently?" End quote. Although this video game did get great reviews, John wasn't satisfied. He said that the gamers that did enjoy his game are not reacting to it as he intended them to. The second video game developer and the creator of the game Fez is Phil Fish. The game Fez was released in April of 2012 for Xbox Live Arcade, though the making of the game was a struggle for Phil. Originally, Phil had a partner, Renaud Bedard, who started the process of working on the game Fez with Phil. After a little while, Phil's partner ended up quitting the business, leaving Phil alone to finish the video game himself. And lastly, the combination of Edmund McMillen and Tommy Refenes were video game developers who were working on and created the game Super Meat Boy. Super Meat Boy was released in fall of 2010, and to this day has sold over 1 million copies. In the development of this game, it takes a huge toll on them both. Tommy explains in the documentary that because of this game, he had no social life. This is because Microsoft offered them to take part in an Xbox Live Arcade promotion called Game Feast, under the condition that they finish the game in a month. Although they did not think at the time they could do it, they had to accept the offer because of their financial situation. They ended up meeting the deadline, and the game was a huge success. This documentary is much more than just about the development and making of these 3 video games. It shows the hardships and extreme difficulty of being an independent video game developer. Every person in this film at one time or another seemed to be very worn down, angry, tired, and although mostly jokingly, some were suicidal. Each person was depressed at one point because of their video game making process. If you compare this to the documentary we just watched in class called Photographic Memory, the use of technology is just overwhelming at times. The producer of Photographic Memory's son, Adrian, was occupied with his technology just about every minute of every day, it seemed. Even when his father took him on a fishing trip at the end of the documentary, he still couldn't refrain from using his cell phone to text people. In Indie Game, all of these video game developers had to sit in front of computer screens all day, every day to develop these games that could take up to 5 years to complete. Technology itself can be overwhelming at times, to the point where it just tires you out and drives you insane. Thank you very much for listening to this brief primer on the documentary Indie Game. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you get a chance to watch Indie Game, I highly recommend it. It was a very interesting documentary to watch. Thank you. Have a good day.